jurisprudence, is law and jurisprudence. I understood through all these discussions that even between the scholars, they had a problem of definitions, understanding words, semantics. And then say, okay, sometimes it's just a word that is not understood the same way, that can give them interpretations. It's still within, but this is something which is important. If between Arabs speaking the Arab language, you have different interpretation, now come to English. Now add the English. And then you understand that when you have to translate, it's something which is important. Who did the translation before? Muslims, the Orientalists. And they took from the Christian tradition and they took the words from the Christian tradition. And sometimes we are following in the footsteps. We don't understand our responsibility to translate the terminology the right way. Understanding not only, in translation there is a psychological factor. Always. Because a language is not only words, it's a psychology. It's a culture. So if you come to someone and say, you know what, Islam means submission, you are translating the word from Arabic to English, but the psychology of Islam in Arabic doesn't mean submission in English. So it's semantically right, psychologically wrong. So you are not a good translator. Because this is very deep. And when it comes to rights and dignity, this is where we have to be very focused, very precise, very dedicated. We need to translate words, semantics, psychology, and culture. Because at the end, Ifshu Salam is the very meaning of Idkhulu fi silmi kaffa. Enter into the peace of God with all your heart, all your being. This is the very meaning of Islam. We are putting our forehead on the soil just to get that peace, is to be at peace with Him. Islam means this. The objective is what? Peace. And justice is one condition of peace. Allahumma dhalamna anfusana. We have been unjust with our own self. What does it mean? When you are unjust with your own heart, unjust with your own mind, it means you will never get inner peace. So this is where you understand that very often to understand all this terminology in Islam, you have to come to the spiritual teaching. Jihad is not to be understood if you just go for jihad through qital. Never. Jihad is jihadun nafs. And when you get the very understanding of this struggle between what is bad and what is good in yourself, that you have to control to get what? In fact, jihad in nafs is to get what? Is to be at peace with yourself. At peace with Allah, with God. In fact, jihad is the way towards peace, never the way towards war. If you come to a true translation, the way towards peace. And as my natural state is to be conflicting between what is good and what is bad in myself, I'm trying to control the bad with the good to get this inner peace. This is jihad. And by exporting this intimate understanding to the collective one, I get the very meaning of this word. Exactly the same with justice. Allahumma dhalamna anfusana means we have not been just. وَأَعْطِي الَّذِي حَقٍّ حَقًّا. What you have to do to be at peace with yourself, think about everything in you, your mind, your body, your heart, and you have to give to every organ its right. You will get peace here. This is justice. This is the dignity. This is what a society should provide for every single human being. If you give me everything but you don't give me education, you don't respect my mind. If you give me everything but you are not giving food, you don't respect my body. If you give me everything but you don't give me love, you take my father and my mother from me. If there is no love, there is something missing. It's not just. There is something missing in the whole system. There is something missing in my rights as a human being. So you come from the inner teaching to the collective social teaching. And this is where the community teaching, and this is where it's important. If you listen to what is said in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ قَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, we gave dignity to human being. By definition, we have a dignity. Never forget that. Never forget that. Even if you see a human being He doesn't believe or she doesn't believe in what you believe. He may act in a way which is wrong, that you don't accept this. You don't accept the way of thinking. You don't accept the way of behaving. At the end of the day, you have to distinguish between your behavior and who you are. When Einstein is saying that he doesn't believe in God, he has a great mind. You can see the signs of God in his mind, even if he himself doesn't see them. So I respect your mind because I see God in you, even if you don't see God in yourself. I distinguish between you and your behavior and what you are saying. And this is something which is important. The very essence is, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. What does it mean? It means that it's one day, Einstein or anyone, it's coming to you and he's sick. As a medical doctor, you should recognize the dignity of the human being, and you have to help him or her for who he or she is, forgetting what he or she believes in. This is the way the doctors are. The poor people have no religion for you. They have the being and the dignity of human being. You don't look at the poor people and say, are you Muslim? I'll help you. You are not Muslim, I forget about you. This is not the way Muslims are. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. This is the first dimension which is important. If now you come back to Surah Al-Baqarah and you listen to what is said, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. That the dignity, there is something which is adding to this is knowledge. And there is something which is, the scholars are saying, which is also the added dignity is freedom. Why? Because the difference between the jinn, the angels and the human beings is that the human beings are believing in God by choice. So this freedom is a responsibility, and this is why they have the dignity. So dignity is about two things. It's about knowledge and freedom. And this is not disputable. La ikraha fi din means we acknowledge the fact that with your dignity you have your freedom. فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. One who wants to believe, he is free to do so, and one who wants to deny, he is free to do so, or she is free to do so. This is the starting point of our understanding as human beings, and very often with a narrow understanding of who is a Muslim, who is not a Muslim, and protecting only the Muslims, we are distorting the very essence of this religion. And this religion is telling us the dignity of human being, and then adding to this, al-ilm, the knowledge, the freedom that you have to protect that. But of course, with all this, the implicit teaching is that you have to protect life, and any need that is connected to life is part of your dignity and is a right that you have to protect. So to eat, so to drink. And why are we fasting? What is the very essence of fasting? It's just to remind us, be careful, that when you for 1 month stop eating and stop drinking during the day, is to remember the very essence of what is divine and what is human, but it's also for you to be close to the poor people. Be close to God in order to be close to the poor people. And this is why close to the mosque of the Prophet ﷺ, there were these poor people, reminding the people when they go out, having been close to God, that they have to be close to the poor people. This is what the Prophet ﷺ was saying. Be close to the poor people. Not only this. He was saying something which is, when you think about the dua itself, Allahumma nas'aluka hubb al-masakin. Not only to respect them, but to love them. To love them, it means it's the start of your heart should be close to them. Ask yourself, because very often we speak about the poor people. The Prophet ﷺ was not speaking about this. There is a step further than that. To love them is to be close and to serve them. And this is the very meaning of our religion, which is connecting their rights with your love, and their right with your duty. Because the zakah is not just your free will. The zakah is something else. It's not the sadaqah. The zakah is haqqum ma'lum. It's a right that they have. So they have a